What happens with race cars when they're finished making laps around the track? Many times they end up on the auction block. Hi everybody, I'm Doc Riley, and welcome to a special edition of Motor Mania. Now let's check in with Rick Carlson.
In addition to race cars, Doc, we have collectible, very fast cars. A 1969 Camaro 427 COPO, 9,100 miles. It's going across the block today, and there's still more.
And you're right, Rick. Here I am. I'm Bobby Waltrip, standing among about 30,000 NASCAR horsepower. Some of these engines were used by my little brother Michael, as a matter of fact. And we've got these and more on this special edition of Motor Mania. Welcome, everyone, to the Kruse Race Car Auction presented by RacingJunk.com. We're at the Cabarrus Events and Arena Center here in Concord, North Carolina. And, you know, I'm very sure that you realize that Kruse International is the largest collector car auction company in the world. But this year, they're doing something a little bit different. Hello, everybody. I'm Bobby Waltrip. And did you ever wonder what happens to the old NASCAR race cars at the end of the year? Well, some of them get retired, but some of them end up here at the auction. And this one right here was driven by my little brother Michael. And you know what? I just about bet you it brings more on the auction block today than it won at the racetrack. Sorry about that, Michael. Did you ever wonder how an auction works? Let's meet some of the players.
Our job description is we work with the auctioneer. We're the extra eyes and hands for the auctioneer. There's thousands of people out in the crowd. He can't see every bidder in the crowd. So our job is to help relay the bids from the audience, the buyer, to the auctioneer.
We've met a lot of famous people, rock and roll stars, in the average day Joes such as myself. And you know what? This is a passion. This isn't something that they have to have. This is something they want. It's really neat to talk to these guys about their hobbies and their passions too.
Dean, how long have you been doing this?
A long time. I would since 1957.
And you still have the passion, don't you?
I love it. You know, on a day off, I go to an auction. I just love this. Some guy asked me, how many years you've been working? And I thought a little bit, and I said, you know, I've never worked a day in my life.
We'll start things off with a race engine. These are NASCAR race engines being auctioned off, just like we told you, from the Bill Davis collection, because he switched over to Toyota.
Get back in for another 100. How about 76? You know, hold brand new engine. 76? You sure? You all done? Okay, I got the bid over here. All right. 8250 one more time here. 8250 8 now 85 now 9. Now listen to me. All getting to the left, all the way back. They want to make it 10,000. 10 now 11. Now 11. 10 5. Now 11. Now 11 getting. I got 10 5. Now 11. 10 6. 10 7. 10 7. $10,800 to bid 10 7. 10 8. He said nope, and I sold right over there at 10,000.
You pick up an engine there. What's going to be the intended use for this power plant?
Actually, I work for Ken Schrader Racing, and we run quite a few ARCA races. And over the last couple of years, we've transferred over to some Dodge cars from the Chevrolet. So I've got cars sitting there I actually need engines for, and to go run a couple of the ARCA races, and these motors will just be a perfect fit.
Next up on the block is going to be this 2005 Dodge race truck. This truck was driven by Kevin Connolly, Tim Fedewa. It has a little bit of history about it. One thing I don't think you'd be able to do is go to your local home supply store and pick up any 2x4s and haul them in the rear.
It's a chassis, and they can drop an engine in it and be ready to go. All right, now have Carver Motorsports.
22 and a half? Yeah, 22 and a half.
22 and a half, now 25. 22, 50, now 25.
Ham, you want back in?
Here comes the celebration. 22, 50,
Jump!
2,600 out of 2,700. Yes, and now 28. Hit 2,800 out of now 29.
Try one more time. 29.
What's that right now?
2800. 29. One time. 28.5.
28.5.
Nothing else. You can use it to go get groceries real quick.
20 and now 29. 29, now 3. I got 29 and now 3. 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. I got 29 and 3. All in, 3,000. Sold.
All right. Argentina! Go Argentina,
bound. Good job, Keith. Thank you, brother. Thanks. Thank you, man. Good job. Good job.
Good job. You picked up your first truck of the day.
Yeah, after having 8 motors and no vehicle. So,
Well, you got to start on fixing that.
right. But now it's going to go down to Buenos Aires, Argentina.
This edition of O'Reilly Auto Parts Motor Mania is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, home of the professional parts people, and by Summit Racing Equipment, the world speed shop. And by MSD Ignition, your complete ignition source. We'll be back with more after this.
Welcome back to Concord, North Carolina, the Kruse International Race Car Auction. It's not just about race cars and vintage cars and some memorabilia. Also, PB Choppers have got some incredible bikes, including some tribute bikes, like this one, commemorating Rusty Wallace's last call. Rusty, beautiful bike. It's got all of the nice little Miller highlights in there. They really do a great job at PB Choppers. Let's get back to the auction action now and check in with Bobby Waltrip.
The first of several Dale Earnhardt Sr. cars we'll see here this weekend. This particular one is a replica, but it sure would look good in someone's collection. It's exactly right, period correct, the correct engine, the correct chassis, as represented by the way it was driven by Dale Earnhardt in 1999.
Ready.
5,000 in South America, 10,000, now 15,000 throughout South America, 15,000, now 20 in the front row, give me 20, it's race ready to go. It's ready to go, 15, now 20. Nextel Cup has raced at Nextel. 22.5, now 23 is out of there, give me 20.
It's up to 22.5.
Yep, did he?
We get in 22.5?
25, now 23, all in. Yes, now 24. 23.
It's up to 24.
Now 24,000.
All right.
Anybody else at 24,000?
What about 30 if I get that? Would that good? See, if I close, I got another guy trying to jump in, but if I close it and give him a raise his bid to 30, would that
Probably
sell it?
30 now, because I've actually been offered more than that. I would consider they're going to have to go way up, so I don't think it's a chance, really.
South America, buy this car. You can probably ship it down there in a container for $1,000. Take it down there to the Fangio Museum, you'd be in good business.
Let's do it.
35 in South America. 36.
Give me one more bid. I think we can get her. We went this far. We went this long. It's the nicest one. It's started up, running, ready. Take her to the track. 5, 42. 42.5.
42.5, now 43. Close the bidding right here at 42.5 we have, Bill. Seller today. Sold! Sold! $42,500. Sold! 42.5.
All right, he collects for about five of his favorites for his own private winner circle and his private collection. So, Mr. Dick Nelson, Dick, we thank you here.
This 2005 Dodge race truck, last raced by Tim Fedewa. As you can see, it's an intermediate track vehicle. That means it's built for a lot of downforce. And if you wanted to spend just a little bit of time, a little bit of money, this thing could be race ready, hey, in a matter of weeks, whether it be club racing or it could even go back to a NASCAR track.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Come on, brother. Come on. You're out, brother. 27. There's no reserve.
No, wait. Get the lady in. At 29, now 3 feet. You're out. 31. 31. $100, 31. Give me 31. 31.
Yeah, I go first.
I got 32
and that's it.
32. 33.
Keith, you want back in?
No.
33.
Sure? No reserve. We're going to sell her.
No, that's okay.
You're the man.
You've got your truck. Congratulations. What are you going to do with it?
I don't know yet. Race it.
Okay, so you've got a home for it, right?
Yeah, well, we run some bush races, so we're running the truck this year.
race fans are pretty familiar with Speedway Children's Charities. And Kenny, give us just a little thumbnail for those people that aren't familiar with what Speedway Children's Charities does.
We're actually almost like a nonprofit event company. We put on events all over the country in conjunction with the races at the SMI tracks. We do everything from golf tournaments to memorabilia auctions like we're doing here today to black tie galas. We raise about $3.5 million a year for needy kids, and we are actually the official charity of the SMI tracks.
Another good way that used race car parts can bring smiles to people's faces, both the bidders, the buyers, and also the children.
At 18, buy now, 19, 19. Anybody else? 19. One more time, you want to do it? Sold. He's been a good bidder in the front row. Sold. 18,500. He got a great buy. Sold. 18,500 in the front row.
Are you happy with what the car bought at auction?
I am, but I don't know if he is.
We'll ask you, are you happy with what the car bought at auction?
Yeah, I'm happy. That's her new house.
Oh, well, now she said that you were probably a little bit more attached to the car than she is.
Yeah, but when I bought the car, I said when it gets a new house, it's sold. So it's sold.
Well, that's kind of a neat deal. See, everything ends up very good.
I'm tickled now. I get a new house, though. I just have to hear him cry for a little while till he gets another one.
I keep coming to these auctions and wondering how everyone pays for the cars and the bikes. Very simply, you need a cashier's check, a letter of credit from your bank saying that your check is good. Your Bank America credit card would work. If you don't have one, you can actually apply today. Then there's always that old standby. You can pay cash, but I think you'll need a bigger suitcase than what I have. Welcome back to the Kruse Race Car Auction, Concord, North Carolina. We're just north of Charlotte. You've seen complete cars, but ever wonder what happens to all those parts and pieces that get knocked off the cars as they go around the track? Well, we found them. We have front ends, we have hoods, we have just crumpled pieces. We've seen all this. Now let's put all those pieces together and see what happens on the complete cars as they go across the auction block.
You know, if you've checked around the history books, there are a lot of significant cars that belong to Dale Earnhardt Sr. All of those cars are represented in the RCR Museum in Winston-Salem, Welcome, North Carolina, except this one. This is the car that Dale Sr. drove in the last race of the century in 1999. So if you look around, special silver paint scheme, it's a one-off car. It's just minus one thing. That's the engine. And you know, I've always wanted to be a 850 horsepower NASCAR engine.
The last lap of the century car, and it was driven by Dale Earnhardt Sr. This is a very valuable historical car.
What you got, 16?
16 now. I'm going to try 16.5.
Yeah.
Randy's got his arm around her. He's trying to get her to bid. Are you trying to get her to bid? Or
You can go back and get credit.
I'm just flirting with the guys.
I got 20.
You can flirt all you want if you bid. Hey, whoa, hey!
We're up around the 18-19. We're a little over your 16.5. Still interested?
Well, I'm interested. I believe I'm going to drop out. It's worth more. It's really worth more. Yeah, it sure is.
Give me 19.5 and help me get 20. You'll never be sorry. You'll never be sorry. 19.5 and make it bring 20 or
One more time.
19
One more
now,
time.
5. Anybody else? Get ready to roll it out.
Sure.
19 now 5. 19 down there and now 19.5 all in and all done. 19 now 5. 19.5. 19.5. Anybody else? 19.5. Sold to the museum at $19,000. Sold. 19,000.
Thank you, brother. Good job.
A lot of people behind the scenes here at Kruse Auction, and let's talk a little bit about your involvement here with Dyno Marketing.
Maybe somebody in Tennessee wants to buy a part, and I'm in New Jersey, so we decided to come up with this central themed auction where racers of every division, whether it's road course, NHRA, or NASCAR, could come to one location to sell their wares.
You've got to have the passion for it. That's definitely, everyone here has got a passion in one form or another for the great all-American automobile.
And we have a bunch of various kinds of race cars here represented here at the Kruse Race Car Auction. one of the special ones is a March Cosworth Indy show car that was commissioned after the 1992 season by Bobby Rahal. That was the year that he was the driver of the year. Also, he was the first owner driver to capture the series title, hence the number 1. And you know, the good thing about this car is it's sold at no reserve, and that means somebody is taking this baby home today.
It's no reserve. It's no reserve. 85 got it there. 85, 87, 87 and a half. Now 9. Now 9. Now 250. And I got it there. 2.5. Yes or no?
Sell it. Come on, sell it.
91?
Margarita money.
91 now, we're on.
Huh? Yes. Yes. 91?
No.
One more. Just for a good time.
Yeah, we'll spin it at the bar.
Sell it.
91, he said, what did he say? Nope. Sold. 9,000. Sold. $9,000.
Notice this time on the windshield of this particular car with no reserve. What's the reasoning behind that?
We just figured that being in NASCAR country, probably an IndyCar probably wouldn't be as valuable to the bidders out here.
Well, we see enough of nostalgia racing for the Indy cars that there's a place to go racing and everybody can have fun with it.
That's right, absolutely. That's an interesting piece, too. I think it'll be great. Great addition.
John Rocker, normally it's the middle of a diamond. What are you doing here at the car auction?
Just trying to get back to some of my redneck roots. I'm a huge car lover, and I got some great cars out here, some drag cars, some NASCARs, some street cars, and some bikes and stuff. Just came out here to enjoy looking at cars and maybe bid on something.
Bidding on something. What are you looking for, or which kind of race cars do you like?
Obviously, I'm a big Earnhardt fan. There's some Earnhardt senior stuff out here. There's an Earnhart Jr. Custom bike over here that I kind of have my eye on, and I'm kind of a Ferrari lover. No Ferraris here today, but some great European cars. A couple of nice Porsches, a couple of nice Lamborghinis. That new Ford GT's back over there. So it's kind of, you get here kind of like a kid in the candy store.
Well, good luck. Hope you go home with lots of stuff today.
I don't think I can afford lots of stuff. Maybe 1 or 2 things though.
Stay tuned for the Kruse auction after this.
O'Reilly's Motor Mania is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, home of the professional parts people. And by ARP, the world leader in racing fastener technology. And by United Specialties, home of the trendsetter motorhome.
You probably couldn't tell by looking right now, but this 55 Napa car used to be a Dodge. And well, as a matter of fact, it still is. It's just kind of missing the nose, the right side, the hood, the rear bumper. But there's enough of the car left here with just a little bit of work, a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, and this could be back on the speedway. This is another example of Michael Waltrip car that is out of the Bill Davis stables. They are changing over to Toyota next year. That's the reason why you see a lot of these Dodge product, not only from Bill Davis Racing, but some of the other teams as well, out here for auction today.
45, not on this one, 45. 42 and a half, 45.
52, and I got a little bit around 55, now 7.5, and now 6,000. I got 6,000. Now 7.5. You want a lot more money? I got 72.3.
3. We're going to sell it, 73.
Are you bid?
He's not in.
Where you at, 72?
You're both out.
If he's bidding, I don't care.
72.3.
He's done.
I got 72.
You are done, right? He's done. 73? Yeah.
Don't fail me now. I got on this 100 for you. One more. One time. One time. Oh, we're almost there.
I got 75. I got 75.
Get him! Oh, hey, don't put me now.
I'm scared.
Done.
Sure.
It's 70. 77. I got 70.
One last time.
It's 78. 79.
One more time.
It's 78 down to 79. Anybody else? I got 78 down to 7900. All in.
What is it?
8,000.
All over the place. 78, 79. It's 79.
I got 79.
It's 79.
Now it's up to you, 81. You sure? Boom. Hey, he's getting nervous. He wants to bid, baby. You want to bid? You want to bid? Did you want? It's only money. Let's do it. Yeah. Jill?
You got all the money, spend it. You're a multi-millionaire, spend a little.
I used to be.
All right, I'll go one more time.
83?
Tell him take it home with him.
He said take it home. Thank you for bidding. Thank you, sir.
Well, you're adding to the collection. What are we going to do with this one?
Oh, I don't know. We'll find something to do with it.
You ready to drive that one too?
Well, yeah, I'm ready to drive any of me buys.
Going to be a full garage.
This next vehicle is a bike, number 707. Now, this particular bike.
Dean, you guys have done thousands of auctions, moved incredible pieces of equipment. But why get involved in a race car auction?
Well, we're becoming more and more involved with NASCAR. In fact, the NASCAR fan club just recently named us as their official auction company. And so we look forward in the next year or two to developing more and more with NASCAR.
What's kind of the future of the collector car market as far as NASCAR is concerned? I mean, once these cars race, I guess they got to end up someplace, don't they?
Yes, well, the ones that are just 1 year old, a lot of those are raced seriously through ARCA and different groups like that. But the little older ones, like some of them we have today that's 5, 8, 10 years old, they have actually clubs that race them all over America. They race at Elkhart Lake and Pocono and different places around the country. And these people that wanted to be a race driver or would like to be one now that are maybe businessmen, they spend $50,000 for the car, they get themselves a trailer, they get themselves a racing team, and they go out and they play like they're NASCAR drivers on the weekends and they have a good time.
What about the collector car market? You know, we've got guys that have got Camaros and beautiful vintage cars. Do you see some of those guys maybe crossing over and picking up a dream race car possibly?
Absolutely. We feel that if you love cars, you love all types of cars.
And Kruse International has announced that they will return again next year with another giant race car auction. We hope we will be able to bring it to you then. If you'd like to obtain a copy of this program, log on to masterstv.com.